Audi are renowned for their innovative approach to design, but their ethos of Vorsprung durch Technik extends much further than simply cars. It's only when you stop and think about everyday objects that you realise we're completely surrounded by design. It's everywhere.
My name's Guy and I'm a director of Sprout Design with Rob.
We set up Sprout in 2004 and decided to specialise in sustainable design and also inclusive design. Inclusive design is mainstream design of products and services that as many people as possible can access or use. So it doesn't mean designing for disabled people or designing for older people specifically, but it does mean understanding the needs of those people so that we can design better products for everybody.
Traditional design would go for the average person, and designs might fit a range of sizes but certainly wouldn't include everyone. And the driver behind inclusive design is we've got an ageing population in the Western world.
By 2020, half of European adults are going to be 50 years old or more. So, you know, as we all get older, our vision and our intellectual function even, and our dexterity, they all reduce. And so companies are starting to realise now that those people are making up a larger and larger proportion of their market, and those people are also the people that have most disposable income a lot of the time. So if their needs are not addressed, then there's an enormous gap commercially that companies are missing out on.
We'd go out and we'd do research with people in their own environments, and we'd probably choose users who might be likely to be facing problems using these products. We might film them because it's about observation and learning through watching really what problems people are actually facing. We get clients who consistently overpack their products because they're worried about perhaps damaged products reaching the store, but to the exclusion of thinking about how to open that packaging and get into the product.
It's not just about people who've got capability loss or old people that are excluded from using products. Like if you look at blister packs, for example, like I can't get into a blister pack. I end up cutting my fingers and getting frustrated and getting scissors out, and it's actually dangerous. And we can look at which aspects of the product, whether it's the interfaces or the weight, or if you need a certain amount of force to activate the product. We can look at that right at the beginning and use that information to inspire new ideas and to change the product to make it better for everybody.
The Audi Design Foundation has been encouraging and empowering designers for over a decade by supporting and promoting designs that create a positive change in people's lives.
Well, I won an award in 2001 from the Audi Design Foundation. It was for a pair of crutches which I designed. I was in an accident and unfortunately broke my leg. Having talked to other crutch users, I realised it'd be a great product to try and tackle. So I went and found out the sorts of problems that long-term users were facing, and if you're on crutches for 3-4 years, they become part of your life. If you have an NHS crutch, the handle is roughly cylindrical. And when you grab it, it cuts straight across the centre of the hand, which is where the carpal tunnel and the nerve bundle go. So if you can imagine, you've got this repetitive force damaging that nerve bundle. So I took a group of long-term users, sat them around a table, gave them all plasticine, and asked them to model what their ideal handle would be. And this is one of the models from the day. But the main point of this is that there's a hole in the middle of the handle, so it completely avoids that region of the hand, and it's therefore quite comfortable. And the rest of the crutch, it's starting from the bottom up. It's got a very simple carbon fibre leaf spring. It's a bit like the running prostheses that you'd see a Paralympian use. The shape of it was supposed to set it apart from a normal crutch, so it's aerodynamic, it's perhaps a bit like a Nike swoosh, but the shape is practical as well because it gives you this space underneath the handle that you could hang a shopping bag in. And people do that because they have these coping strategies, and you hang a bag over the handle and then find out that bags and crutches swing at different rates, they collide and you fall over. But here you could fit a bag. The handle and the top is, I suppose, a bit like one of these chairs. It's rather than just have a discrete cuff, which would cut across your forearm and probably damage your ulnar nerve, it's much lower pressure because the load's been distributed with this elastic fabric mesh. So it's one of those products that hasn't been reconsidered for a very long time, so shedding new light on it using inclusive design, you get a very, very different result.
The Audi Design Foundation held a 2-day creative masterclass to promote and raise awareness of inclusive design in association with Leonard Cheshire Disability.
The majority of the word disability is made up of ability, and that's actually our starting point. We see people for what they can do rather than what they can't do.
No, I don't believe a word anyone might say about you can't do that because you're in a wheelchair. virtually nothing's unachievable with the right access and equipment. You can do anything.
Leonard Cheshire Disability provides support to 20,000 people with disabilities, and we're really here to help them emphasise what they can do. And working with the Design Foundation will allow us to do that in a different way.
Because we're in a wheelchair, doesn't mean to say we're not capable of thinking.
What's very clever about this workshop is that it isn't just for design professionals or design students. It's aimed at design educators.
People have assumed that wheels mean nothing up here in the brain.
These 40 or so people that are here will go back into their universities and teach whole years of students.
My standard reply has become, watch me.
The barriers in the future just won't be there. And teaming up with the Audi Design Foundation is surely about that. It's about getting people to think differently and act differently around disability.
Change the way you see disability.
The interactive event was attended by design lecturers from across the country. Their brief, to split into groups and, with the aid of a service user, co-design for the residents and gardens of Leonard Cheshire's residential home, Mickley Hall. Roger Griffith, a facilitator at the masterclass, explains the brief further.
Well, user-centred design is different things to different people. They call it inclusive design, universal design, co-create, and it's all about doing user-centred research and design with a target user, those preferably with a disability. And in this case, the disabilities range from people with cerebral palsy, mental disabilities, sight